Good morning. Welcome to Satsang. I will try to describe what is undescribable, but maybe it will remove a few concepts. So, as a person, it's possible, and I wish everybody could say so, to say, I know myself. I know my real self. But the mind doesn't know what it is. And yet, there is absolutely no question that you don't know yourself. So there is a paradox there which will be maintained through the mind, by the mind. And because that person can say, I know myself, if asked on that direction, and if it is so, of course, he will naturally, and the word I use is too weak, but appreciate, he will naturally be so grateful that the search has disappeared, that naturally moments to just keep quiet, he will offer that to himself. Now, of course, as it is in time that he says, I know myself, even though he knows his mind cannot know what it is, those moments look ephemeral as any other moments. So after having the experience of obviousness or of tranquility of the mind, there will be the natural activity of the mind according to your own destiny and life, personal life. But then it doesn't, as you have seen or realized, that's better maybe, what is the background of all things, and that what you are is this background. The question of permanency in time and all that just disappear. It doesn't make sense anymore. Well, I think it was just that, but I find it's an important pointing. If it is not clear, if you prefer to ask, you want to ask something or to share something, please do. Satsang is expressed in that way. It is, of course, expressed in silence too, that is sure. But it is expressed in both ways. Yeah. Hi.
I was listening and I found it a very important, I don't know how to phrase it, but it's a very striking pointer what you just give. Because in the last satsang you said something about the landslide, and then you see that there was no ground, eh?
Yeah.
And then you ask the question, what more would you want then, if you have seen that? And I was thinking or contemplating about that, what there's more to want or something. And I saw that my mind, or let's say I, because I land on there, was still looking for. How can I explain that? Oh yeah, he also said the essence is you, and you as a person is also part of that essence, but just a limited form of it.
Yeah.
And I see that I was still searching a little bit for a truth, but in a limited way, which I can apply to this world, which would be constant for this life.
I know this is the ideal of a seeker, because he cannot conceive something else.
But what you just said, but it
Okay.
breaks it all.
Okay, I'm happy. Maybe I had to say that for you.
Just wanted to.
Wherever I go, this is the main difficulty. The main thing which is not conceivable by the mind. Then why, if it is not even permanent, then why to run after that, But if you have still questions about it, I try to reply in a way that you don't put the question anymore. But it is a main trouble of a seeker within this spiritual world. Yes. Especially that one who seeks can have experiences of permanency, eternity, the absolute silence, and so on, and even of nobodiness. So it looks so much like the description given in the scriptures or in satsang of people, teachers or masters, that we are sure, I know what it is meant, but I'm not yet in the permanency of it. I'm not yet there. I have still in and out. This is the main difficulty, actually. Already to have a glimpse is a blessing, I would say, for the seeker. But why the glimpse is not realization? Because of that belief. Or the mind reappears, I am identified, it should not happen this way. So one thinks I am in and out constantly. You speak about what? Of course that you speak about states of mind then, in and out. You don't speak of what is. And what is first. All what you express is second. It's already a rising out of here. So how can you trust even the first rising? How can you trust its real nature? It is not. It is in the creation.
Hi, Ganga.
Hi.
I'd like to share something from Nisargadatta. I don't remember the words exactly, but it's something like this cause and effect.
Yeah.
He says something like as far as you you think you are the cause of anything,
Yeah.
liberation is not for you. Something like this concept of doing is kind of jail, you are a slave. Can you say something about that?
Oh, he said it well. Yeah, you know, it's funny because the one who is seeking, he cannot help. He seeks, okay. And anyway, in this world, everybody seeks. Only the objects changes during their life. But let's say the seeking of myself or the divine or whatever. So there is someone, and someone wants to achieve something. He wants to, otherwise why to search? So he has a goal. But the goal is in time. Otherwise he would not search. So all his journey is in time. And he will probably, if it is so, he will probably experience something of he conceptualized as the goal. Freedom. He will have experiences of that eventually. And here we call it glimpses, generally it is. We have glimpse of what I am. But because there was a cause, it remains a glimpse. Because you see, that attainment, it's attained by someone. I am enlightened now, for example. But as it is in time, the quality of the attainment will change. So suddenly I attain to eat a beautiful meal, or to be disgusted by someone, and so on and so on. So because there is somebody, all those things happen. They are happenings. What is happening? A life. It's life, it's the creation. And that's why it's so important to question, but who is experiencing? Who is the seeker? Is there a seeker, permanent seeker? You will see. The seeker goes on changing roles all the time, even though he may make his life essential as seeking, as a seeker. But it's not permanent. It changes roles. So is there something permanent or consistent as I as a seeker, I as something? You will see that the roles, they are impermanent. They have no real nature. So the real freedom, what is called freedom by the wise, it is when you see that. When you see. So because I am already what is called freedom, I don't need a cause for that. I am it already. So I make and suddenly I understand I always make a step too much. A step into time. And into time, it's all about achieving or going towards. And that never leads to what you are. Because it's already too late, too much creation. So you don't need a cause to realize who you are. You need to really see, oh, I don't need even to be somebody. It's not concerning someone, the background of everything. It's not personal. To be struck by that, you can say it's a cause, but it is that itself is seen as an event. That's why I say the event of enlightenment, to see that, for example, to be struck, is not it. But you can't help to describe this way, to express at some point this way. But you are no more taken to make it a glimpse. Yeah. Is it clear? More or less. Maybe less than what Nisargadatta said. But I assure you, it's the same direction. You need a cause when you are not yet it. And that is wrong. And why? It's because as someone, we have to experience, we have to know, we have to sense, we have to feel, we have to, we have those tools. So how can we imagine that it will not be in the grip of that? It's impossible. So it's really, really the indication of, but why do I impose myself to be someone? Because I believe I am this body and all. And this is part of the investigation of the neti, not this, not that. Whatever you can know, feel, or sense, it's not it. It is it in limited form. So it's not it, just for the sake of giving you a moment of freedom. It's not it. It's not that. Or Papaji's word, he was telling, don't land anywhere. It's exactly the same. And who am I? For me, it's exactly the same. They are really the quite shortest, directest, I know it's not English, but the most direct expression you could indicate. Not this, not that. Don't land anywhere. Who am I? Because then you are really, you question the root, the cause of this life. Yeah.
But that's the point. That's the point, sorry. This is always here.
Yes.
And
You say that because you know it or not?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But you said, then this is the cause of life.
Mm.
But he says, Nisargadatta, if you think you are the cause of anything, then...
No, but there is nobody in the background.
Okay.
Don't forget.
Say again, please.
Don't forget that, I said. You said that you know that you are that. Then what more do you want to know? What has to be clarified? You made it a glimpse, or? Okay. Then I shut up. So tell me now, there was a cause for it?
For what?
To know yourself.
For searching. Maybe there was a cause.
Yeah, but the search didn't bring you there. It's when the seeker is gone. When the seeker understood that it's not through a search. So if it is not through a search, why a seeker should exist? It has no meaning.
It's like a joke.
Right? The cosmic joke. That's why you see I know what I say. The experience of enlightenment is so striking because suddenly you see, but it was always here. I just confused because of my mind with some invention, something else, a concept of it. But that itself is part of the seeking, that experience of enlightenment. Because if you take the experience of enlightenment, there was before I was enlightened, I am enlightened, and after. There is a before in the life and a after. This is wrong. You always have been that. So if you speak of before and after, you speak again about your life. And life is time. So you don't describe, you don't point out to the real thing. And that's why people say, I'm in and I am out, and they lie, because after they say, no, I am always in, even when I sleep, and even when I make pee, and even when this and that. This is liars. Liars, they may not know they lie, because they never heard this. That's possible. So it's good to hear this. I heard it from my master, and I will not lower what he taught me. It's impossible. So, what do you want to hear? Something?
Hi.
Hi.
I would like to hear about inner fire. I heard that story of a disciple going to her master, asking, teach me for illumination, and the master said, you are not prepared, and like this once and twice, and finally she came with a sword, and she extended her arm, and she cut her arm with the sword, and she said, I want the illumination, and the master said, now you are prepared. I wouldn't cut my arm, and I wanted to know
Because it's of no use.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's like
If
a
I
story.
if I was teaching that, then you would do.
Okay, the question is, in your personal experience, the inner fire was growing, or before the click happened in you, did you have a fire that burned yourself clearly and you just thought about it all the time, or would you cut your arm?
This I don't know, but I was ready to jump a cliff, but no. But you see, the beauty to have met the master. When you have that fire, generally the master will come to you, because there is no difference between a master. The master is not a body; it's a vehicle. It's the self which sends you a vehicle to help you. So the fire brings you a master in that field, in that direction you really want. If you have not yet met, maybe you still are distracted by so many things, but it may come. Anyway, when you have the fire to free yourself, you meet the one who can help you. Okay? So what? And that one, of course, according to your wish, because everybody says, I want to be free, because now it's banalized. But it's, and probably nobody would take that search if he knew through what he has to go. Anyway, so the master will exactly remove the concept you have, the concept that, oh, I throw myself, I cut my arm to show you how fiery and how fully authentic I am. The master is there to remove concepts. Concepts. And that puts petrol on your fire when you remove concepts. Because you trust what the guide. I would say so. A master, if he adds a concept, is a teacher. He is good for a while, but the master removes concepts. Yeah. In this field. You can see, I repeat myself, but I found it an easy example. You can see for yourself. How can you recognize yourself when your arms of a child, oh, I know it, this is me. Now, oh, I know it, this is me. And the arm is completely different, the body is different. And when you will be aged, you don't even recognize yourself in the mirror. How come you can recognize? Still it is me. You cannot base that on the body. You cannot base that on your feelings. They've changed so much. Nor on your concepts. They are all the time changing too. So what is this? It's what you are. You just confuse with something. And that made you search. Do you see that? It has always been here. So to tell to somebody you are ready or not, or matured enough or not, it is to consider his mind and his heart, emotional heart. These are not the conditions. There is no condition to realize yourself. You are already it. It's just to remove the confusion. And it adds confusion if you say you are not yet ready, you are not ripe enough. What do you mean? Then we need that somebody is transformed in a riper fruit. You speak of something else then. Then you speak of someone transforming himself, which is totally valuable, and in life, what a blessing too, to be transformed. But in satsang, it is not about becomings, it's about being, the essence of things. It's already here. It's not subject to any transformations. So just do it now. Be happy. Concept. Maturity is a concept. Not to be ready and worth is a concept. What is this to teach that is really not it in this context. It's a religious reading, you see. And I say, for the life, I don't touch it. It has its value. It has, but I don't touch the life. I just try to indicate the background of all. Okay? Clear? Okay. Hi.
Hello. So, if I would express what is with words, then it came to me that it might be trust. That there's a deep expression of trust of myself. And
Do you still speak of somebody?
that's a point. No, I don't. Because when I look back, then maybe there's this connected to somebody, but there was always trust in my life. Whatever was happening, there was always this somehow deep connection.
Yeah, but this is not my language, so I cannot. I don't say. You see, we are together now. I don't speak of connection. I don't speak of trust. I speak of what already is. Because to me, what you say, it is the result of a beautiful attitude in life, and also when you meet a guy, then you trust. You have to trust, otherwise, of course, which kind of work you can do with. Huh? But you speak of someone. Because what is the meaning of trust of what is? Who is there to trust? What does it mean? It is that which creates trust in someone, that I believe. So, and connection, you are it. Why connecting? You are it. And because you are it, what came, what is created, is it too, but in a limited form. That one will not say, I am connected too. It is.
Yeah, that's my problem right now,
Okay.
because it is, and I just wanted to describe it. So
But you cannot.
Yeah,
You
but-
describe in wrong ways.
yes, okay.
You describe in wrong ways. So try to find your own words, not the words of your teacher. You try to find in your own words how you can describe it. And I will be very happy. Okay? If you like, of course. One cannot even copy, because we do it in an unconscious way, of course, because we learn a certain way. One cannot copy the words of his own master. And when it is expressed, that's what I do, I hope, and I know I do it often, I say, my master said. It has to be alive. Otherwise, you see, you express something of a course, of a teaching you learned. Memory. It has to be alive. Okay? So, tabula rasa, huh? And now you can express, and you will express in your own way. And then I will be very happy to hear you. Okay? Great. Great.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. You see the difference. I just try to tell how I feel things. For example, if I walk in the nature, or if I love especially someone particularly, I would say I connect. I am even that tree. I am this, I'm that. You see, you connect. You mix, you melt together. So connection in this world exists, of course. But for that it needs I and you. Oh, emptiness. It's okay. It's okay. It is delicious, I tell you. None. Yeah.
Ganga. When you say that you don't speak about life, right, what are you speaking about?
You know, I don't know.
That's the thing.
Because I know it's easy to serve from the self and all. I don't know. But truly, what I know, it's not from my memory. What would you say? What would you say?
I can't say because it's not even conceivable that there is anything that is not life. The mind cannot conceive that.
yet it speaks.
Could one say that it is what gives life to life? That is.
Sure. But is there something else that is that can be experienced in life? And a life includes birth, existence, and death. Huh?
Yeah.
Is the only thing one can feel, experience, conceive, project, transform, eventually. So on. But what is the question? What is the question really? You ask me from where I speak? It's from a mind, of course, but this mind has no background of memory. It looks to me. But it's not my problem.
No, I have no doubt from where you speak.
No, I don't mention that. I don't mention that. I even myself don't know. It's a question, it can be asked. Sure. I know that we generally, even in the past, I think long ago I was telling, if asked, yeah, it's from myself, it's from that. Yeah, sure, why not? But yeah, I think I prefer to be a bit more less affirmative.
Yes, in fact, the question remains that how to describe the undescribable. Because as soon as you start talking, it is in that direction. Right?
Yes, of course. That's why, sorry, you can always, you have to boycott yourself in telling, okay, it's the direction, and yet, and there is no teaching. This is, I think, something which is not enough. It's not even possible to really understand. What is satsang? Satsang can be indicated by silence. Some people really, or by touch, as they say, or by look. And mostly, especially in the West, by words. Yeah. But the words, they don't come from what you learned. They come from the realization of this direction. Yeah. So words which, of course, can be seen as, it's imperfect because the indication is in words and all that. You can never describe. But in satsang, it's an indication which can be perfect to remove a certain concept which was asked. It's a way of teaching.
Yes.
Yeah, you see. Now, all what is said in satsang, if you want to hear, doesn't make sense for what is.
somehow the question arises because I was wondering, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
After years and years and years and years of hearing the same.
And enjoying it.
And enjoying. So the enjoyment is somehow what is trying to be expressed. Gives a kind of an opening to just be that what cannot be described, but that is. Right.
So, Pragata, you are here because you live here.
I live here because I chose to live here.
Yeah, but now, for example,
Yeah.
you are here because you live here and you like satsang. You may have needed satsang. Now maybe you don't need, but you can still like satsang. And if this itself has no more the impact of before, you will fly away somewhere or not. I mean, you know.
I do, but I always come back.
Because your home is here.
Yeah. And the home, we say, is where the heart is, right?
We made a life around satsang. We have friends. You see, that is in the life now.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
You know, as I told you, I just come back from high up in the Himalayas, where I've seen caves, sets of caves that were used as monasteries and still are now. At 4,000 meter altitude, super hard life, cold wind.
Sadhana.
And they're there with this super intention to reach what?
Yeah.
What is spoken in all these words. I've seen libraries of books and stuff.
Yeah. Amazing, yeah.
Mm.
Maybe if it is the deep wish, the master will pass by.
Yes, yes.
Or they will understand that they have to go back to the market and the master is in the market. I don't know.
Yeah.
And some probably are just also quite, who knows? Who knows? But surely that this search can be intense and make you make things which defies the normal bearable thing in life. Of course.
Yes.
It does. It does. It shows also how much it is essential to solve this question, as it was essential when you are young to find a partner. Then this is replaced by this sometimes. You know, we know.
Yes. Yeah.
The very, very strange particular quality of this search is that it has no object. This is amazing. There's no object. So we invent subtle words which looks like wind and transparency and absolute. And happily, if we have not seen how the mind works, we are caught by those concepts again. So it's very essential to see what's the mind. Can be gross like a potato and can be so subtle as enlightenment.
Is therefore everything destined?
It looks like him. Even often events are the grace in disguise. It means we have to live it to take the best of it. Yeah. And then will be a transformation in life. And this search is also in the destiny, isn't it? Yeah. I think there is no exceptions in this life. Even if you meet this cat by chance, and it's all, it had to be like that. It's funny. So in fact, we can never, we do, but I mean, in fact, we can never feel, oh, I've been fooled, I lost my time, I did the wrong choice, and all that, you see. Because even if it looks true, you will not be the same crossing that. And there in the life, the best attitude is to take the best of it. The best of it. If you can't, it was destined also like that. But I mean, it's amazing. Life is amazing.
So can we say there is no free will? Huh?
We experience free will, but in fact, there is no free will. But it doesn't mean that we will have not to decide things. In life, we do decide. Even I decide not to decide. But you see?
Do we decide, or is it destiny?
In the life, it looks we decide, but it is our destiny. Yeah. Really. And every human, every being alive, or even every being has his own unique, original destiny. It's amazing.
Who writes the destiny?
You take that because...
Who writes the destiny? Or what? Or what?
That which creates the one who questions.
Yeah. Whew. An amazing one. I guess the obvious attitude is just surrender the mind completely to questions.
He will never surrender if it has not been seen as mind.
Yeah, yeah.
He will surrender for a while and then boom. And all the attainments the mind gets, I don't trust. I don't trust.
The what?
All the attainments.
All the attainment,
Surrender
yeah.
is an attainment. Through understanding, through whatever, I surrender my mind. It's not important. Just put the mind. Who wants to surrender? To what? We have to investigate. Investigate. And that can be only by oneself, alone. Yeah. No condition of this mind will do. It can bring an experience, that no doubt. But it will still leave you unsatisfied unless you are an unconscious liar or a conscious liar. Yeah. The surrender is a beautiful word, because the direction is not to feed, not to be fed by more. Yeah? So at least, okay, you feed less. So you become a starving mind. But I've lived that.
That's not how
I
I feel.
lived that. And it doesn't help. It doesn't help, because then you stay in the starving. Dépouillé, I don't know, dépouillé. Les beaux pragata, dépouillé, comme on dit.
What?
Hein? In English.
What word?
Dépouillé.
Dépouillé.
Okay, emptied then, something like that. Emptied eye. Stripped? Removing clothes. Okay. You are in the striptease then. State. And then what you do with that one? People have meditated years and years and years, and they forgot to include the meditator. So they still come and ask, I'm in and out, how come? Of course, the meditator is the trouble. The surrendered is the trouble. What to do with that one? But when you hear that, then it may click also. Oh, that was too much. That was still too much. And that's it. That's it.
Hi, hello Ganga. Can you throw some light on what you mean by investigate?
Yeah. You see, when, let's say, a seeker goes to a master, the master will tell him, by silence or by touch or by words, you are that. You are that. So it can be taken. If it is not taken, because the mind was the tyrant till then, if it has still this strength of tyranny, the seeker will make his own journey. With the mind, because it looks to him he cannot do otherwise, he will work with his mind. So here there are very good indications. Neti, not this, not that, and so on. So the investigation is that. It's from outside you go in towards the source of your mind. And for that, not to be all the time distracted, you have this trident, not this, not that. Or a word like Papaji said, don't land anywhere. When I get an experience, I may enjoy it, it goes, it was not this, not that. But without compromise.
Thank you.
Yeah. But you understood, huh? It is our own power of mind who makes this journey. So it can be also cut off at once. It's really like that.
Hi. By what it can be cutted?
Hearing, or suddenly you see that whatever is conceivable or seen or felt, it's, you speak of your body or of your emotional heart or of your mind. You don't speak of something else. You don't speak of what is prior to all that. So when you see that, say, oh, I'm still, believing in the reality of this.
Thank you.
Mm. It has its reality in this world, but it has no substance of. It appears, it disappears, it goes on changing. I'm searching something which has a substance, an essence. That's why I come to Satsang. But there is not only Satsang, it can happen. It's more rare generally. We never know how it works anyway. Who you are that you are searching is already here. It's only because you want to experience it that it slips. Only. That understanding is enough. But of course, the arrogance of the mind can be strong. He still wants to experience. I will make it. And very strangely, it's opposite, like becoming so humble that you say, okay, it comes when it comes. It's also not an attitude. I think you have to spot the mind. Means there is absolutely no attitude which will help. Yeah. And you can't help because attitude will appear, but you spot. It's not this. I'm not that. No.
We are just a tiny
Say
life.
I.
I am just a tiny life in the whole. So
Right.
yeah. So why is it so important, the freedom of a tiny life? It comes, it goes, it's another one. So
It's not compulsory that it is important. Some people have this mad surge, so there must be a place to solve that. As you know, there is mental hospital for those who are not so well. There is a place for them. There is a place for everybody in this universe. So if you have that surge, what it came to you, what to do. But it's not compulsory. It's not an obligation. But if it is there, you have to solve it.
yeah, but you dedicate your life to guide.
Because I was cuckoo with that search. It was an obsession. I didn't choose, it came. And I don't tell anybody else, you have to. It's not an obligation. It comes or not. Then if it comes, it has the right to have an answer. No problem. It's not an obligation.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. There are no selected ones here.
No, I know.
Yeah, but I like to say it again.
But I've heard it's your birthright.
Yeah, it's your birthright, sure.
To be free, like it would be great that everyone could be free.
No, nobody said that. We wish that. Because, for example, if you eat a wonderful cake, really wonderful, you wish that your friend shared that. That's a good wish, you know? That's everything that you find for yourself good. If you have friends, people you love, you wish. I share that. So it's the same here.
Thank you.
Yeah. when it is expressed it's your birthright, is because often also some seekers have this idea that they should first care of the well-being of others before this absolutely egoistic search. So here one says it's your birthright, as anybody has birthright to do something. It's the birthright of everyone to be happy, to be at peace. So that's it. Thank you very much.